All right, then, and a very warm welcome to all of you yet again. And it's so good to see you. And today's topic is a very heavy topic, and it's judgment. And somebody said, "Okay, why don't you take up judgment as a topic?" And I was thinking to myself, "Oh my God, this is like such a big topic. And where do I start and where do I end?" Because judgment is something. So we came here on earth to experience through the judgments all our experiences. So, how can I explain to somebody else to stop judging? Because all our experiences are tied in to the judgments. Every time something happens to us, we meet somebody externally, we immediately evaluate them. This person seems good, no, his energy is not good, or he seems, or somebody said good things about him, and all together we are simply evaluating each time as to what this person will bring to us, and we are judging him, her, 9 to a dozen. It's not just persons in our close group. Actually, every bit of information that's coming to us, we are judging. We hear something about a politician in the US, and now we are judging that politician. It's highly unlikely that we are ever going to meet that politician, but yet we are judging. And through the judgment, we are receiving experiences. How are we receiving experiences? Each time we hear something, it gives us anxiety. Oh my God, what's wrong with him? Oh my God, why is this happening? And as we start to take in all of this, there's a very little chance that you're going to meet that politician in your life, but there is a very, very obvious chance that you are going to meet your own judgments at all times in your life. So the judgments that you've taken about something being evil, about something being not good for the planet, is going to come to you in many different ways. And that's simply going to grow. I just saw a question out there which says, oh, something good, something bad. What is good? What is bad? It's a judgment of yours. Everything is a judgment of ours. When we talk about a terrorist is a terrorist for some people, and for some people, it's a freedom fighter. It just depends on which side of that judgment you are sitting. So is that terrorist good or is that terrorist bad? Is a Chandrasekhar Azad good or bad? It just depends on whether you were Indian or you were British. So again, we're not going to get into judgments right now. I'm first going to explain how and why we make judgments. So we make judgments because we came here on earth to experience duality. If we don't make a judgment, we will feel the oneness with everyone. But we came to experience duality. And that's why we start our life with making judgments. As we grow up, we are made to judge ourselves, our own selves, against other people. So more than anything else, we are constantly judging ourselves. And that's one large part that we are going to address later. But right now, sticking on to this topic of judging others. So when we are creating a judgment about others, about what's good and what's bad and what's not good and what's ever so dangerous, what is it that we are creating in us through this judgment? What we are creating in us is fear. What we are creating in us is hate. And let us say I take an example of Hitler. Now, Hitler created a lot of anxiety and a lot of deaths and a lot of everything that is all evil. And as I sit and look at Hitler and think about all the things that he did, what am I creating towards Hitler? I am creating hate. Hitler did bad things to all of these people. But how am I feeling that sympathy? Is by feeling hate towards Hitler. I have still managed to create hate in my system, in my energies. And when I create hate in my energy, that energy pot that we always talk about, when I create hate, when I create anxiety, when I create fears for myself, guess what am I going to receive from the universe outside? Whatever I hold in my energies, I'm going to receive more of that. So how do you end this? How do you stop creating hate? You're feeling very worried for the world. And that's the truth, that you find that something is just not acceptable. It's really, really bad. Well, as it is really bad, what is the emotion? What is the one question that I always ask you? What is the emotion that I am feeling? Oh, I'm feeling a lot of fear and I'm feeling a lot of anger. Why are you feeling anger? Is because anger, in a large part, is already sitting in your energies. And this trigger that is sitting thousands of miles away, has become the way for your anger to come out, to erupt outside. Now, will you spend 20 minutes, 30 minutes being in that anger, being angry? Or will you spend the next 5 minutes being aware that, oh my God, this person is never going to have a direct interaction with me. Even if the direction is not, if the interaction is not direct, so what? He's influencing all of these policies. All right, then let's say everything that this person does is going to impact you. And yet, if you want your life to flow smoothly through all of these policies, then you've got to make sure that your energy is going with the flow. Your energy will act differently from the energy of everyone else if you have become aware of your energy and changed it. Everybody can have the same problems. 900,000 people can have the same problems, and yet you will be different because your energy is different. Because from that instance where you could have created anxiety, you have not created anxiety, you have looked at the anxiety and released it. When does this happen? When do we actually stop creating judgments? When all of our experiences are coming to an end, when we've done 360 degrees. So an example that I normally take is, since I always teach about energy being something that is eternal, so it's not just this life that I talk about. I talk about a series of lives that we've all been through. Let's say over here, you came to experience love. Now, let's say you are in a life right now where everybody gives you love. Is your experience of love fully over? Actually not. Because what is going to happen is you simply got one side of the love as your experience right now when everybody is giving you love. But you didn't just come to experience one side. You came to experience the 360 degrees of every experience, of every emotion. So you might, in this life or another life, choose to have another experience. And what is that other experience? What if I never got love from anybody? And that's going to also explain to you what love means. Because just having something never tells you what it is to not have it. So you might choose that other experience. And then you might come another time, or maybe in that same time, you might choose an experience where when you have something, and then it's completely taken away from you. So let's say you have love and you have love from everyone, and then suddenly love is taken away from you. What does that experience feel like? And then you have no love, and then you start to receive love from all. What does that experience feel like? So we do an entire 360 degrees just to know about love, just to learn about love, and not just about love. We do this with every experience. So today, as you come and you experience hate more and more, what's going to happen is hate or anger or fear or frustration, it's collecting in your energy pot. And as it collects in your energy field, what is the next thing that's going to happen? That's how the actors around you are going to behave. That's how all the actors you will be receiving their script from you. You say, how is this script going to be written if everybody loves me? Well, it's not just about this life. You might end up another place, and you will find that while you're doing so much for people, you're doing everything to make people happy, and yet all that you're getting back is hate. And how is that happening? It's happening because you came to experience that other side of hate. First, you gave hate. Now you probably came to experience what does it feel when you receive hate. And so 360 degrees of every experience, when that starts to be done, then that's when the energies bring us to a point. The energies will bring you to a point where you now have the choice to shift your own emotion. As you understand that you shift your emotion, the entire universe that is around you is going to shift. It doesn't matter. Everyone is an actor. Everyone, whether far or near, everyone is simply an actor. If that actor is able to create a trigger in you, then that actor becomes a part of your life. Each time you think about this, each time you think about that trigger, it's going to create more of that emotion in you. And then when you recognize, oh, that's an emotion, and I do have the choice to let it go, at that point in time, your judgments will start to fall. I used to get so worked up with so much that's happening in the world. And now, every time I hear something, I look at it and I say, okay, what is the emotion that I am experiencing? As I am experiencing anxiety or I am experiencing sadness, if I'm experiencing any of these things, I simply release my experience and I shift my frequency. Now, people tell me, how can you do that? I know what it is to lose people. And how can you say that? Because it's our country. And you're just sitting and saying it doesn't bother you, it doesn't impact you. Well, here's the difference. When it impacts me, I'm able to look at the emotion. I'm able to look at what part of me is resonating with this incident. I look at it, I receive the experience of it, and then I change it. That choice of changing it exists within all of us, whether you want to experience that or you want to sit in that experience of sadness, in that experience of hate for a much longer time. That's the choice that you had. I look at the experience, I felt very, very sad. And then as soon as I looked at the experience, I was able to release the sadness, and then I am back into equanimity. The one thing that always helps me is the knowledge. The ones who are being born today, the ones who died yesterday, neither is this the last life, nor is this the first life. When they are dead, they're going to come right back in and complete their 360 degrees of experience of everything. And when I understand that, I also understand that they came with their plan. And now when they come back in next, they will bring another set of experiences for themselves. In this life, when I become that aware, then I create my own experiences. And as I create my own experiences, the first thing that I need to drop again and again is judgment. And I tell people judgment is one of the most difficult things to drop, because that's what you came for. This is duality, and you have to go through this experience. You can't ever release it. So then I tell people, all right, let's not even talk about being non-judgmental. At least take the judgment that suits you more, that fills up your energy with what you would like to receive. If you would like to receive more sadness, perfect, go ahead. Fill your energy with more sadness through every outside incident that happens, through every judgment that you make. It's your choice. And what do I do for myself? I will make a better judgment that's going to suit me better. It's going to make my life more easier. When somebody walks into my life and I'm looking at them and saying, oh, well, this person, he just, I don't get a good feeling about him. I get a really bad feeling. He must be here. He wants something from me. The minute I start to get these questions and answers going in my head, which are all coming from the frequency of mistrust, I look within, I simply stop for a minute and I tell myself, this is money. This is money. My guru, money. And so he is here to change me. And he's here to show me where all mistrust is still sitting in my energy. And I give him that respect that is deserved by my guru. And as I do that, my energy towards that completely shifts. What happens in that moment? Again, if this person is here to take something from me, and if this person is the energy of money, then would I give something happily? Oh, absolutely. I would give everything possible. And that's what now instantly my energy becomes. My energy changes from mistrust to deep love, that here it is. through the energies of this person, I am going to access money. As we move from one energy to another, we move from the energy of complete mistrust to complete trust. What is it that we have done through this outside event? Through the outside event, which was bringing me this entire judgment, I am now going to release that and going to make a judgment which is suiting me better. As we understand that it is our choice, it is always our choice once we are aware as to what emotion we want to create from an event. So again, many different things happen to us in a day, and sometimes the events are much larger and they will create a whole realm of emotions. In your awareness, understand that every event is leading you to judgment or to expectations or to attachment. From any event that happens to us, judgment is created, expectation is created, or attachment is created. And when attachment is created, then again, whether it is fulfilled or not, then judgment is created. Even from all the memories that we hold, we simply keep creating. So once we recognize that we came here for this, we will start to end our judgments which are not serving us. The whole point is that we cannot release judgments altogether. So at least we will make judgments which are serving us. Now moving into something very small, but something that we do every day. The judgment that we hold for food, the food that we are taking in, the air that we are taking in. There is a constant judgment about each and everything on our plate. And as we judge, oh, this is healthy for us and this is not healthy for us. The minute we think something is not healthy for us, the minute we have made that judgment, now what's next to happen? We are going to eat it from fear. And so what is it that we are taking in? We are taking in pure fear. And why is that fear coming in? Because we judge something to be bad for us. In our thoughts, we are constantly creating judgments for the food that we eat, for the air that we breathe, and most of all, for who we are. We create judgments for ourselves all the time. We compare ourselves to others, we create judgment. We hear about others, we go into jealousy, we create judgment for ourselves. Whenever we haven't performed to our best possible, our perfection that we have defined in our head, we create judgment for ourselves. Or we didn't do the best. This wasn't the best that could be done. We could have done better. And as you are beating yourself up, guess what's happening? What is it that you are growing in yourself through these judgments? Simply anger, resentment, and jealousy, and fears and anxiety. The next time something happens, you're going to go in with all of these new fancy emotions and not with peace of mind. So again, why do we need to release judgments? Is simply that to make our next experience better. And now, yes, now I'm going back to the question. But then isn't there the general goods and bads is one of the questions. What is a general good and bad? I think I already answered that, because whatever it is that we think about it, it's as good or as bad as that. There is nothing called good or bad. If we perceive it to be good, then it's going to be good for us. It doesn't matter what it is going to be for the general public. It is all in this space where we have perceived it that this is going to be really bad for people. As we make that judgment that something is really bad for people, what is it that we are going to see more and more? We are absolutely going to see that become the truth for us. We will only see the bad news. Why will we only see the bad news? Because that is what needs to become the truth for us. And then what happens? As it becomes the truth for us, it starts to impact us more and more. And that is the process in unawareness. And when we become aware, then as soon as we observe that we are making a judgment, and let's just simply make judgment on ourselves to be kind to ourselves. No matter what's happening in the world, the universe is playing in my favor. That's the judgment that I make. I make a judgment on the universe itself that, oh, this fellow, this entire thing called universe is constantly playing in my favor. What is it? if not a judgment. I look at the shit that I'm going through, and from there, I will keep changing. I will keep changing that perspective that this is not working. I simply say to myself, no, I judge this to be a blip, and I judge the end to be another something. What happens when 360 degrees of all experiences are experienced through various lifetimes, and how do we know what all emotions are yet to be experienced? How do we know? Do you feel emotions? If you feel emotions, then they are yet to be experienced. If you're able to become aware of your emotions and immediately able to release them, then that's it. The pot has become empty. What happens when 360 degrees is over? We start to feel, through the release of all of these judgments, we start to feel in oneness. We feel as much oneness with the victim as we feel with the perpetrator. We simply are able to watch the whole universe, the drama that's happening, and we are able to extract from it what is the emotion that we are going to take away from it? Love. Because the only way forward is oneness, and that is love. So when you start to feel love for yourself, automatically you will feel love for the others. Automatically, more and more judgments will get released. The first part of it is always to feel love for yourself. And for that, I always give the mantra, I am awesome. We know a person has come to cheat us. We can feel that, how to deal with the situation. I deal with it as treating that person as money and giving him the entire respect possible. Because what is cheat but a judgment? What do you mean when you say cheat? Well, he's come to take your money, your goods, your something. What if that your doesn't belong to you at all? What if it's his and he's simply just come to take it, and now you call it this word cheating? So that's why I explained this entire process. What you can do it is that every time you understand, if that is the frequency that you are operating from, the frequency of mistrust, and anyone you know has come to cheat you, what does it mean? You are judging him to be a cheat in your frequency of mistrust. You can understand that this person too is Shiva. Who is a Shiva? A frequency of non-judgment. And each of us are Shiva. So you are Shiva and I am Shiva, and I'm creating love and you are creating mistrust. And that's a choice. Now you can start to create love as well. So I showed the process as to what I do. And if you haven't understood, I'll guide you. I've talked about the process even in one of my videos. I'm facing some contradiction about the concept of what we came here to experience and the thing about releasing the things we perceive as negative. Could you please elaborate upon it? I always say there is nothing negative. It's everything is simply an experience. When you understand that it's an experience, your energy doesn't judge. You in the body that's facing this duality, you in the body are judging because that's what you came to experience. This contradiction between the concept of what you came here to experience. We came here on earth simply to experience separation. We came from one place where we were all together as the source. As we were the source, we were really quite bored because there is all this peace around us and we had no understanding of how beautiful that peace is. And I said in the morning session that our journey is from shunya to shunya. This is the shunya where we know nothing, but we are sitting in the energy. This is where we came from. We are part of the source and we are shunya because that's where everything is. When everything is over, everything is just shunya. So we came from here, the shunya, and we go through all the 360 degrees of everything. And now we go back to shunya. And as we go back to shunya, what's the difference? This shunya, the only thing that has changed is the frequency. This is the frequency of not knowing. And this is the frequency of knowing, of having experienced. So we came here to experience all of these experiences through judgment. And that's why judgment is so difficult to release. And so we won't talk about releasing it. We will simply talk about changing it in such a way that it plays for us in our favor. And how do we do that? By coming into oneness with that other person. Wherever you are feeling more of separation, you will come more into oneness. Treat him as a mirror, because the universe is nothing else but a set of vibrations that you are emitting out. That's what is coming back to you. So if you can do that, simply think of that other person as you. As I said, I take it a level higher. What do? Not just myself. I treat it as somebody who I have the greatest reverence for. And so then what happens? Even more than me, I'm able to love that person for coming. And now no longer that same person who was looking like, oh my God, he's here to cheat me. Cheat me of what? Now I'm more than ready to give him whatever he wants, because this is money who's come to ask me for something. Will I give it to him with that mistrust in my mind? Absolutely not. If this is my God, my Guru who has come, I will give everything that I have, because I have so much love for that person. So close your eyes, change the filter, change the glasses through which you're looking at that person. As your perception changes, what's going to happen on the outside? On the outside, that person's energy is going to change right away. It has no other bearing. It has no bearing on them. They are an actor to you, and you are an actor to them. And both of you are playing roles. Is he changing his side of the roles because his story has changed? No. He might continue to play that same story of the badass that he is for 20 other people. But if in your energy, there is only love to give to him, then as soon as he enters your energetic field, what will he have to do? He will have to change, and he will have to give you what you are holding for yourself. No one can give you what you are not holding in your energies field. If you're not subscribed to a channel, you can't watch it. If you're not subscribed to the channel of mistrust, the harbinger of mistrust might be at your doorstep, and he will have to shift, because he can't show you any mistrust. You don't hold mistrust. These days, I'm feeling very jealous of others who are doing well. And this is a hurdle for my own growth, even with awareness. I'm stuck. Jealousy is a new feeling for me. All right, are you done feeling it? If you're done feeling it, observe your jealousy. Observe how it feels. Observe how there is separation, that person and you. Now, simply come into oneness. For everything, as we start to experience separation, jealousy is a frequency of the mind, and oneness is a frequency of the heart. As you come into oneness with that person, and through the same process, you can think of them as whoever your most favoritist person, or your Isht fellow, or your God, the one that you're constantly worshipping, the one that you would love to be with. You would think of them as being that person. I have seen this, and I don't even go in there with an expectation that his energy is going to change. I don't even go with an expectation that now that I'm imagining him as money, his energy should change and now accommodate me. Why? Because the minute I think he's money, I've completely lost the fight altogether. There is no fight. I simply have so much reverence. I am so filled with love that now there is nothing that is bothering me about this entire judgment that I was taking earlier. So that's how the whole energy changes behind what you're doing. And let us say you're an atheist and you don't believe in any gods and goddesses. Understand that everything is a play of energy. And it is your energy that's being reflected back at you. And this person is simply playing a role. So as you start to realize that, paste your face. You don't have a favorite God, paste your face on that fellow and say, what if I was coming to ask for money from myself? Would I call it cheating? No. And now what happens with that thought? There is oneness in that thought. That, yeah, there is no separation. There is simply oneness. As you change, you will instantly see a shift over there as well. If you have truly changed, if you have truly understood, and there is true love that is flowing from you to them, as a true love that, okay, you were the actor to bring out this jealousy in me. Thank you so much. So as this happens, as your energy changes, what is it that will happen? Your jealousy will be out the window in that minute. And then again, as I say to people, are you done experiencing? Because in awareness, you can change your frequency any point in time. You're experiencing jealousy. Oh, I noticed I'm experiencing jealousy again. All right, I'm the energy of Meenal. I'm the frequency of Meenal. I take energy from Meenal. I am Meenal. And you say these lines a few times. You go to that meditation. You do that meditation, and you will find that for that time, the jealousy is gone. If it comes back again, what do you do? Oh, well, you had a bath, you're dirty again. What do? Have a bath again. So that's how, if you are feeling jealous, then it's simply a frequency. All right. So somebody wants a recorded version. I put all the recorded versions on these days on YouTube on my channel, mpfy.org. You can easily go over there and look at all of this stuff. I have two answers. Release your whatever emotion that you're feeling. And then the second answer is tune into my frequency. You'll find this repeated 100 times. And yet, why do I come here every Saturday? And why do you guys come here every Saturday? Just for this energy transmission that's happening between you and me. You are tuning more and more. And right now, in a concentrated 40-minute session, you are tuning into it. But as you are tuning into this, it's also a revision for your conscious mind that when you get dirty, what is it that you do? You go and cleanse yourself. So as you get into this frequency which you find dirty and you don't want to be in it anymore, what is it that you do? Whether it's anger or it's jealousy or it's resentment or it's sadness, it's grief, no matter what, if that is bothering you, then that's simply some dirt on you. Go into that 10 minutes, a 13-minute meditation of getting into the frequency of Meenal and get here. And in this frequency, there is constant abundance, there is joy, and you will start to find yourself tuning in more and more into the joy on your own when your frequency starts to shift. If the earth is to experience duality, then are there other worlds, and what do we experience there? We experience duality on earth, and we experience beautiful stuff in all those other realms. We are there in 1,000 places, and so many times when you are in dreams, you will be taken there. We do astral travel, we do all kinds of stuff. For that, what do you need to do? If you want to experience astral travel, sometimes it's just a gift to some people, they experience it just like that, but then they're not able to repeat that experience. What is it that you need to do? You simply need to release your frequencies of duality, which are keeping you grounded on earth. When I say miracles, what are miracles? That miracles happen to me all the time. But that's because on earth, those things seem like miracles. But it's not miracles. It's just that when you increase your frequency and start coming over here, then your frequency is not that of the mind. It's now that of the heart. In the earth, we came and we circled around 360 degrees to constantly experience this. And just the very fact that you are here and listening to this means the time has come for you to start shedding this and to move this. Each of us are in different stages of doing that. Even doing that is a choice. You want to experience some more sadness? All right, then pay attention to the outside. If you want to experience some more joy, all right, then pay attention to the inside. Go into the frequency of Meenal and experience joy at any point in time, and you will be able to do so. So sadness, we release. Joy, we keep. The meditation is awesome. I feel at peace and absolutely chilled out like me. Yes, absolutely. I know that everybody who tunes in, whether through the meditation or through those 3 or 4 lines, or nowadays I see recently put up meditations for healing as well. And all of these are simply first to put you into my frequency so that you can start to receive all those miracles as well. Those miracles, health miracles happen, financial miracles happen. But why do they happen? Because the frequency, the minute it moves from separation to oneness, that's the frequency that brings things to you in an instant. You don't have to wait for time. Time only exists on earth. There is no concept of time in the energy. So does it take, how much time will it take for $1 million to manifest over here? Well, if you're in that right frequency, I would say a minute. I would do this And that could be here if you are in that frequency of oneness with those $1 million. What is it that you have to do to get into $1 million frequency? Well, you have to empty yourself out of your doubt, your worry, your fears, your lack. Because after all, it's a $1 million. It's going to achieve nothing for you. If you think that's going to bring you peace, then you might as well run after the peace. You might as well come into the frequency of peace rather than going this long route of I need to get a $1 million so that I can get joy and peace. I would say, let's cut it short. Let's bring joy and peace right away. Be in this frequency of joy and peace, and the $1 million will be a byproduct. It's just a byproduct. It's not what's going to bring you happiness. Joy and peace is going to bring you happiness. You bring yourself into joy and peace. $1 million, a healthy body, blah, blah, everything will just happen on its own. And that's only a play of the frequency. Again, circling back to the topic of judgments. We started there. So every judgment that we take is from here. It stops us from going here. So now as we start to understand that judgments are created for the frequency of mind to experience itself, the good, the bad, the ugly, the wonderful, all of them judgments. So what are we going to do? If at least we can't release those judgments, we are going to judge ourselves and others in the most positive light with oneness. As we judge others with oneness, it's obvious that we have already judged ourselves in that oneness in a very positive light. Otherwise, there is no way we can give love to others. What we think is love that we are giving to others will not be received by them as love. It will be received by them as something irritating, and it will irritate them. But that's because you haven't given yourself love. So firstly, looking at yourself, releasing all the judgments that come to you about yourself. And as you do that, you will start to tune in more and more and into the oneness frequency, and you will be able to release judgments. All good. I think we are done with it. Kanika, this is not even allowed. Certain emotions get released instantly as we candle, yet certain don't despite candling. How to get the place or be able to release them as they are felt? Oh, well, certain instances of emotions are tiny in your entire energy field, and the other certain instances are occupying a large place. So as you scrub and you scrub some more. Increase the dosage of your bathing. That's all. And that's it. Don't worry about why is this not happening. It should have happened last time only. I've already bathed 5 times. Why am I still feeling dirty? Oh, well, there's still some dirt on you. The complaining is not going to help. What is going to help is having another bath. So go take another bath. All right then. Bye, everybody. Lots of love to all of you.